Hey guys, this is Das Waffles, and today I have a tank review of the Tier 10 American medium tank, the M48A1 Patton, or as it's commonly titled as in-game, the M48 Patton. Moving on to the statistics. Fully upgraded, or with the final package, let's see, you have 810 horsepower engine. You get a 105mm gun with 6.82 rounds per minute, and 268mm of penetration with the standard shells, and then 330 and 53mm of pen with the premium and HE shells respectively. The standard and premium shells get 390 alpha damage, whereas the HE shells get 480 alpha damage. The gun has a 2-second aim time and 0.36 accuracy. You have a track traverse speed of 50 degrees per second, a turret traverse speed of 40 degrees per second, a 420 meter view range, and a 745 meter signal range. It has a top speed of 45 kilometers per hour, a below average camo rating, and a HP pool of 2,000 hit points. And moving on really quickly to its armor profile, the turret has 178, 76, and 51 millimeters of front, side, and rear turret armor respectively, and the chassis, or the hull, has 152 millimeters, 76, and 38 millimeters of front, side, and rear armor respectively. And that about sums up or wraps up most of the statistics you need to know numbers wise with this tank. And first gameplay I have here is on Prokhorovka, nighttime variant. I have two gameplays in this video. The first one here, as I've already stated, the map is a more long range type of map, and then the second battle that I have recorded is on a map that's more close range in comparison to this one. Anyways, back to the tank. I guess I'll go ahead and discuss the cons because there's not too many with this thing. The first con is, I guess it's probably the most important one, is the rather tall cupola you have on the right side of your turret. And the reason that's a con is because if you're trying to peak ridge lines with this thing, chances are the enemies are going to see your cupola before you can see them, and you're gonna get hit quite a bit if you're not careful about peaking ridge lines. Even if you are careful, you're probably still gonna get hit every now and then anyways. But just something you should know or be warned about is ridge lining with this thing is not necessarily the best option. And honestly, it's a con, but it's also like this tank's it's both, like, it's good at ridge lining, but it's not good at ridge lining. Because I say it's good because you do get a fair amount of gun depression with this tank. Don't get me wrong. It's just that cupola kind of shits on your parade when you try to peak ridges, because they're going to be clipping that before you even get to see them when you're peaking the ridges. Anyways, that's typically, I mean, if they're not paying attention to you, then you can ridge line, but I mean, if you know enemies are looking at you when you're trying to peak ridge lines, that cupola is going to be a problem. the way I like to play this tank is I pick a strategic position and I pick things off from a distance, or I'll move up and in support of allies on flanks. I only ridgeline if I have to, or if I know they're not paying attention to me. But anyways, the only other, I guess you could say, con, and it's only, I'd say it's just a little con. It's not like a big problem, but your top speed is not the best compared to other tier 10 mediums. However, it's not the worst at the same time, so it's kind of mediocre. And even though you don't have the best top speed with this thing compared to the other tier 10 mediums, you're still fairly mobile, so it's not that big of a deal. And that's about the only issues or qualms that I found with this tank. I'm not going to complain about the armor because most tier 10 mediums don't necessarily have super nice armor. They're not meant for directly engaging things like a heavy, so it's kind of standard to not have that great of armor with a medium. Anyways, moving towards the plus sides or the pros to this tank, one of those being the gun, is with that 2-second aim time and the .36 accuracy, you're pretty much going to be hitting whatever you're shooting at.
Enemy is hit.
You don't have to worry too much about your shells just kind of going off every which way and sideways that often. So, pretty solid gun. 105 millimeters, so it's pretty much the standard for a tier 10 medium. But yeah, pretty accurate gun. Shouldn't have to worry about your shells missing too often. In terms of its turning capabilities or traverse capabilities, got pretty nice track traverse, pretty nice turret traverse, which is pretty good. Another pro to this tank is the fact that it's, like I said, one of 2 tier 10 mediums with a 2000 HP or higher HP pool. Unfortunately, it's not it doesn't have the most. The E50M trumps the Patton by 50 hit points. It gets 2050 on there. But 2000's still pretty good. 50 HP difference between that and the 50M, that's not a big deal. But yeah, 2000 hit points, I'd say it's a pro because it's better than most tier 10 mediums. They're usually in like the 1900s or around there. I know, I think there's only a couple tier 10 mediums with like around the 1800s, like the Bat Chat. So yeah, the gun, the hit points, and your pretty modest mobility are all pretty nice pluses to this tank. And I guess one other con also, I'd say it's another, I should have mentioned this when I was going over the cons, but the fact that you actually have to upgrade this tier 10 is kind of a con. Not good to go right out of the starting gate. Assuming you fully upgrade the tier 9, which I believe you're forced to anyways. Tier 9 105 comes free on here, but you have to save, I believe, 45k XP for the tier 10 105. So yeah, that's kind of a downside, is the fact that you have to upgrade this. Other than that, I'd say this is a pretty solid tank. Would I recommend you go for this tank? Absolutely. In the hands of a good player, it's a pretty damn swell tank. Performs well, It's fun to use, and I really enjoy it. That's why I've had it for quite a while compared to some of my other tier 10s. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm sure some of you know this already, but I don't exactly hold on to all of my tier 10s, and that's mainly because of ignorant financial decisions in this game within like the first year or so of owning it. Anyways, definitely I'd recommend getting the 48 Patton. It's a great tank. Solid performer. Anyways, second gameplay here, I have a match on Ensk War. So more CQB type of environment. And there's three things I want to address before this video ends. And one of those things is the fact that I will be uploading gameplays of other games besides World of Tanks. And my reason for that is because, well, I feel like it, for one thing. And two, tanks can drive me crazy or bore me sometimes, as fun as it is. And I just feel like spicing things up a little bit. However, that does not mean I'm gonna stop uploading tanks videos. There's no need to worry about a cease in production. I will still be uploading tanks videos just about every week. It's just that I'll be playing other games alongside it on the side. Second thing, my friend El Dinarol, you may have seen him in some of my platoons and some of my videos sometimes. In fact, he's in this video. He's been in my platoon both matches. He created a clan, and I'm his executive officer here on World of Tanks, and we've titled it the Anti-Tank Duck Platoon.
He's gone. Find us another target.
That's, and the clan abbreviation is AT-DP, all caps. And the reason why I'm mentioning this to you all is because our numbers are small right now because we just started, and we're looking to recruit people to increase our numbers. So if any of you think you've got the skills to pay the bills and want to try out for our clan, I'll leave both of our gamer tags in the description, and you can message us if any of you want to try and get into our clan. Third thing that I want to address, and I've thought about this for a while, but I've decided that it's not a good idea to be friends with subscribers on Xbox, and it would be unfair to friend some of yous and not all of yous, because being realistic, I couldn't be friends with everyone that wants to friend me if they wanted to. But I don't mean to sound mean or anything like that. It's just that I think it's, personally, I'm going to keep my friends list solely to close friends and friends that I have known for a while or in real life. Sure, there's a few exceptions to that, I will admit, but for the majority, my friends list consists of people I know in real life or on a first name basis. But anyways, that doesn't mean I don't want to play with you guys. It doesn't mean I don't want to talk to you. You're my subs, I appreciate you. I'm perfectly okay with, you know, playing tanks with you all or something if you wanted to do that. It's just I'm keeping my friends list solely to a personal level. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Have a good day. Thank you.